What's up, guys? Battle City Gaming here. Today we're doing the deck profile of Taylor Wilcox. He was playing Pendulum Magician, I believe, in which he got fourth place at our recent third Open tourney for the fall 2017. Now, before we get started, I would like to say thank you to our sponsor, Zero Gravity. Please visit them in Moreno Valley in order to get your comic books and also your trading card needs to be satisfied. Alright, let's begin.
Alright, so starting off, just a generic stuff, 3 Skull Acrobats, in all honesty, in my opinion, like one of the best cards in the deck. 3 Purple Poison, this comes in really clutch a lot of the times and close to being one of the better cards of the deck, just being able to pop them out a card. Even like, I think like yesterday, I think I ran into a higher attack monster just so I could out it with this. 3 Black Fang. He's meh, but he does help out a lot of the times, and he's just another searcher for the deck, or like to search for him. 3 Wisdom Eye, extremely great card, love it, especially with Star Pendulum Graph. What else more can be said? 3 Double Iris, standard. Again, all this is pretty standard. He's pretty good. Does basically everything you probably would want from him. 3 Harmonizing. Oh gosh, this card yesterday put in so much work, being able to just pinch it from hand, get an Omega, or just get an Exceed monster. Yeah. Play 2 Pendulum Sorcerers. I personally don't think you need more. I was teching one time, but I decided to put in a second one because I noticed that if I play, we'll see later, but it was just I was getting in situations where I either needed a second one or this one got outed by something, so and having an extra target and as well as a low scale for what's it called, Duelist Alliance really helps. 2 Oath Dragon. I play this so I can recycle back to my hand because this deck, as you'll probably notice, does a lot of popping, and being able to add like your Magicians back to hand, especially Harmonizing Magician since she can't be pendulumed from the deck. I did try one at one point and then noticed that I wanted a second one because like if I set it as a scale and it got outed, it just wasn't very helpful, so having 2 really helps out. 2 Astrograph Sorcerers. I am really on and off about this card, but in the end I still end up playing 2. Sometimes just being able to have another big beater as well as get another resource in the hand when a card gets popped through on the field. And he's a low scale, and you'll see later also like why I would have him as a extra, why I keep him at 2 regardless of how much I use him. I play 1 of him. Now the reason I play him is literally just for a low scale purpose, and because he's a magician. Because when I was testing a couple weeks back when I was getting into the deck and I was playtesting it a lot, I noticed that I was getting way too many high scales in my hand, and there were not a ton of low scales that I could search. If he was dark, it'd be preferable, but I just need another low scale to be able to search, and he's also an 1800 beater as well, so you can just normal him and just start smashing into things. Which came up once or twice yesterday. 1 White Wing Magician. I play this so that because a lot of times I'm able to actually go in my first turn double Omega and on Babushka. So this is just having that extra tuner, since you can't summon Harmonizing off of herself when she's special summon. You can just Harmonizing special this, and if you have the right field, you'll be able to. I only do this whenever I have I know it can go into double Omega. But yeah, also she is a low scale, so and it has come up every now and then to use her as a scale. Now I play one Timebreaker Magician. I play him simply because he's a magician, he is searchable, he's a low scale, which really helps, and I do play Allure of Darkness in this deck. That's also, again, why I play two Astrograph Sorcerers still. So the fact that he's a dark helps in sometimes just like banishing him for Allure's effect when it's resolving. Uh, if this was a level 4, this would be amazing, but it's alright. His Pendulum effect did come in one time yesterday. I bricked with my hand, and I set him as a scale, and I summoned her, and it was against a True Draco matchup, and they tributed a trap card and targeted this, and this saved it. So, I mean, every now and then it can come in, but yeah, overall it's a decent card. If it was level 4, this card would be much better. Down to the hand traps. I played 2 Ashes simply because I only own 2. If I had a third, I probably would do what I can to make room for a third. It is. I love it, though I will say with this deck, the reason I debate about having a third is because this deck is a very combo oriented deck, and there was way too many times when uh, um, I would have like, let's say, 2 hand traps in hand. Like I do play the one up Maxi, and I would just have these 2 in hand, and it would just brick me because you need as many of like either the searcher cards or your pendulum monsters in hand. But still, overall, if I had a third, I probably would try and find a room. But yeah, so obviously this is pretty standard. Yeah. Now to the spells. I do main deck 2 Wavering Eyes. I main deck this simply because of my own stuff. I want to pop my stuff a lot of the time. And just having them a lot of times just because a lot of times what I'll do is I will set 2 scales that, like, let's say hex. A lot of the times I go into 2, I set 2 double iris, or I set double iris and wisdom eye, pop the wisdom eye, get double iris and Wavering Eyes it. To go get Skulker Bag, and then both the double iris will go off, get Pendulum Graphs, and I only ever really do that if I have another Pendulum monster in hand, so then I can just kind of set off. But it does come a lot, especially, and if you do ever happen to go into a pen matchup, which in my tournament yesterday I went against 2 of them, it does help. But I only do this simply for my own benefit, not for a mirror match. If I just happen to enter a mirror match, then obviously this card just is extremely broken. I main deck 2 Duelist Alliances. Now the only reason I only do 2 is because this is a hard once per turn. It's a great card, but I need as many resources in hand, and I can, when I was playtesting, one, I only own 2 regardless, but even then I playtesting, I don't think I could fit a third one in here, and it's just, again, it's hard once per turn. It would be way too bricky for my play style. So, and I see it enough to where I don't need a third regardless. So yeah. 2-star Pendulum Graph. I do 2 because this card, it's great. As great of a card it is bricky. I play 2 just in case if one does get out, I still have another. I will say a lot of times this card does brick me. There was because I mean it basically requires you to have like at least probably 1 to 2 other cards, at least if you're going first, to really get it off. But still a great card. Now for my spicy tech of the deck. I play 2 Allure of Darkness. I do this because things like Ash Blossom and Maxi and a lot of other things are not searchable in this deck, and I want to get through them. And as you notice, a lot of my Pen Magicians, there's like nearly, I think there's like between 17 and 20 Dark Monsters main deck, and I can afford to lose one of them. And I don't know what the likelihood you ever get this card ashed, but I haven't. But I have enough targets to banish. But this is literally to cycle through my deck, get more resources, not more resources, but just to see cards I can't search, and just to see new cards. It comes in, it helps a lot. I play 1 of Desires. I only play 1 because it's a hard once per turn. And when I was playtesting with like 2 or 3 before, and I noticed when I was doing it, I was banishing cards that I really needed. So yeah, so I only play the one. It's still a good card when you get it off, but I just can't afford to see another one because I want to see as many cards in my deck that I can play multiple times in one turn. And having too many cards that are hard once per turn doesn't help my playstyle. Play the one upstart. Basically, this is a 42 card deck, so this makes it a 41, and it OTKs pretty well. So this deck OTKs pretty well. So giving him 1,000 doesn't help, or it doesn't help them much.
Yeah.
And then for the last, probably one of the most broken cards ever, or at least in this deck, Time Pendulum Graph. This is a card that's absolutely amazing. I love it. I wish I could play 3, but it's just it would be too bricky if it did. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you quickly go through your extra deck and maybe your sides?
Yeah. Okay, so from my extra deck, I play the one decode because, at least to me, extra deck space is thin. And when usually if you can't stop this deck with because it amounts resources very quickly, so if you can't stop this deck, usually like turn 2, I will like link summon into this and just pendulum real hard. So and it really helps to basically OTK because he gains attack points and he lets you pendulum too from extra deck, so it helps. I play one Enlightenment Paladin. I honestly have not gone into this card ever so far, but it is still pretty good. I might take it out, but I'm still keeping it just in case. Play one Ignister. At first I wasn't playing this card, then I did, and I haven't regretted that choice. It's coming in multiple times, especially to pop, to gain advantage and then shuffle. Still, it's an extremely great card. And 2 Omegas, pretty self-explanatory. This deck can go into it pretty well. Outing 2 of your opponent's cards' hands and then being able to OTK him next turn is pretty good. 1 Beals, Big Beater, outs 2 Dracos. I've come into it once or twice. In all honesty, I would still keep it. It's just a hard boss monster to out. 1 Supreme King, Clear Dragwing. Actually, I'll just fall 3. These are all pretty self-explanatory. I've gone on with them twice. It was pretty fun duels. I targeted BLS and the Lunalite Panther Dancer. It attacks like multiple times, helps out. They're all pretty good. This one would probably be my absolute favorite though. I went to this multiple times yesterday to out of field though. Play the one Tornado Dragon. Obviously, this is self-explanatory. Out of back row, I go into this a lot just to help my stuff, or if I know what the matchup is. Utopia package. I go into this so much. It helps me. Went to it once or twice yesterday. Obviously, pretty self-explanatory. I only play 1 Time Star Magician. I hardly ever go into this guy, so I only need the 1. It's a good card, but I only ever found myself really only needing 1. 1 Baguska because, jeez, like this deck needs some more broken stuff. So yeah, being pretty self-explanatory, pretty broken card. Then I do 1 Abyss Dweller because where I'm at, there's a lot of decks that use grave effects. So just having accessibility to this just really helps me.
Alright, and your sides, just briefly go through them.
Alright, so for my sides, obviously depending on where you're at, you determine your side. So my side is based on where I'm at, and so for instance, I play 3 Artifact Lancia. There is a few Invoked players where I'm at, and a lot of banishing decks like ABC and Infernoid, so just have that. Play Thor Allure just in case I do need it. I only go into it once or every now and then. 3rd Wavering Eyes. This is simply for the Pendulum matchup, mirror match, or Pendulum matchup in general. So yeah. I play 1 Evenly Match. I literally got this before the tournament yesterday. I only own 1. I resolved it 3 times. Every time I got it, I resolved it, which was 3 times. If I had more, I would use more, but still, absolutely amazing card. I play the 1 Typhoon because this deck, if you're going second, being able to, like, if you go second and they anti-spell you, there you go, you can out it. I said it in a couple times yesterday, never saw it though, but still, just in case. 2 Mind Crows. I would have a 3rd in this, but I do not own a 3rd at the moment, because no one seems to really have it. But it's just a good side deck card, especially if you go into another tournament. You can use it to basically out and evenly match, which this card is the absolute worst enemy to this deck right now. I play 3 Royal Decree originally for this reason. It was for evenly match, and if you want, you could just do against other decks, because where I'm at, they play a lot of traps, and traps can hurt this deck, especially and mainly anti-spell. Imperial Order does it a bit, but yeah, so. And then for the last 3, different dimension ground, because where I'm at, there is a lot of graveyard-based decks like Infernoids and ABCs, so having accessibility to this helps. If I had a 3rd Mind Crush and 2 more evenly matches, I would take these 3 out for those 3 cards.
Alright, thank you very much, Taylor, for your deck profile for your Pendulum Edition. Alright guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and also comment on this video. Thank you very much, guys.